My name is Brian Kingsbury. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do another Brian Reads the News segment. This one's coming to us from thisisdig.com. Thisisdig.com. It's titled, When Doves Cry Facts, 10 Things You Need to Know About Prince's Seminal Pop Masterpiece. Prince's hit Purple Rain song When Doves Cry changed the game in the 80s. These 10 facts reveal exactly why that was. Released in the U.S. in the spring of 1984, When Doves Cry was a watershed moment in pop music. Baffling all but its creator on first listen, it has gone on to be hailed as one of the best Prince songs of all time, but also one of the greatest songs of the 80s. A funky fusion of electro-pop and rock guitar pyrotechnics, it established Prince as one of the most forward-thinking artists of the decade. These 10 facts reveal exactly why When Doves Cry marked the point at which Prince truly soared to greatness. Once again, this one's titled When Doves Cry Facts, 10 Things You Need to Know About Prince's Seminal Pop Masterpiece. Fact number 1, When Doves Cry was the final song recorded for the Purple Rain album. Prince had written much of the Purple Rain album before the summer of 1983 and debuted many of its songs including Let's Go Crazy, Computer Blue, and Purple Rain itself at a now legendary gig held on 3 August 1983 at First Avenue, the Minneapolis venue that would be as much a character in the film as any one person. But while most of the Purple Rain album would be in the can by the end of the year, When Doves Cry was a last-minute addition to the track list, written at the request of director Albert Magnoli. While editing the Purple Rain movie, Magnoli realized he needed a brand new song to help the film's narrative and was soon given a choice between the upbeat sounding When Doves Cry and the altogether more delicate God, a track that would end up being released as a B-side to Purple Rain. Quote, he never questioned my need and I never questioned the music that was sent, Magnoli told Prince archivist Dwayne Tudal for the book Prince and the Purple Rain Era Studio Sessions 1983 and 84. And that was just the way we worked because he knew that I was in charge of my division. He was in charge of his. Fact number 2, When Doves Cry has no bass line. According to the studio engineer Peggy McCreary, as Prince spent on an uncharacteristically long time recording When Doves Cry in Los Angeles' Sunset Sound Recorders in early of March 1984, usually finishing entire songs in one sitting. He spent several days laboring over When Doves Cry, building upon an initial Lynn LM1 drum machine part and turning the song into what McCreary, speaking to his author for the book Lives of the Musicians, Prince called a huge mega thing with layers of synths and guitars. After listening to the results, McCreary said he started unproducing it, stripping elements out one by one. Prince turned the track into the skeletal pop funk masterpiece it's known as, but one radical decision startled everyone, McCreary included. He started taking out instruments, and at the very end, he punched the bass out, she said. And I looked at him and said, nobody's gonna believe I've got the nerve to do this, explaining why his decision set him apart. Prince told Ebony magazine, quote, most black artists wouldn't try a groove like that. I'm not saying that I'm great or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm an alternative. I'm something else. Fact number 3, Prince's record label didn't know what to do with the song. As if to prove Prince's point, when his record label Warner Brothers first heard When Doves Cry, they didn't know what to do with it. Ever since the release of his debut album For You, Prince had caused headaches at the label whose pop, for which red white music and R&B black music promotional teams were both charged with getting Prince's records into the hands of radio DJs who weren't sure if he belonged on their station or not. Straddling both sides of the divide, Prince didn't fit within their conception of what R&B music was, said Mary Lou Bordeaux, Warner Brothers promoter for Black Radio, in the Lives of the Musicians Prince. Quote, "The sound was very different from what he was coming up with. He was streets into the future." One of Prince's biggest supporters at the label, Bordeaux, was on hand when the singer delivered When Doves Cry with the instruction that it be the first single release from Purple Rain. Quote, "What the F do we do with this?" she recalls the Warner exec saying. "Radio will never accept this." Fact number 4, When Doves Cry became Prince's first #1 single. Despite Warner's misgivings, When Doves Cry became Prince's first #1 single. Released in the US on 16 May 1984, it topped the Billboard Hot 100 on 7 July and went on to spend 5 weeks at #1. The song also topped Billboard's Hot Black Singles and Hot Dance Disco Club Play charts, proving that whatever the concerns of label heads, pluggers, and DJs, Prince's music had officially transcended genre. It was a similar story across the Atlantic following When Doves Cry's UK release on June 22nd. The song went on to #4, giving Prince his first top 5 transatlantic hit. Fact number 5, it was also the reason Bruce Springsteen never had a #1. Even at the height of his Born in the USA fame, Bruce Springsteen couldn't topple Prince. Sitting at #1, When Doves Cry kept the Boss's breakthrough hit Dancing in the Dark off the top spot in the summer of 1984, preventing Springsteen from ever having a #1 single of his own. In the days following Prince's death, Springsteen paid tribute to his former chart rival by performing Purple Rain live at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York City, declaring afterwards, quote, "Prince forever, God rest. It was a magical moment in a very dark time," Springsteen guitarist Niles Lofgren told Dig, recalling how he learned to play Prince's iconic Purple Rain solo especially for the occasion. Fact number 6, the When Doves Cry video was Prince's first concept-driven promo shoot. From his debut single Soft and Wet through to the promo videos he recorded for the 1999 album, Prince effectively shot live in the studio performance clips that promoted not only the songs but also himself as a live performer. While many of these, including the videos for the songs 1999 and Little Red Corvette, stand among the best Prince videos of all time, with the When Doves Cry promo, Prince raised the bar. Shot on the A&M Records soundstage in Los Angeles, the When Doves Cry clip opened with the image of Prince emerging from a steaming bath and crawling across a flower-strewn floor, intercut with footage from the Purple Rain movie, released in a near 6-minute full-length cut and a shorter single edit. The video framed an overview of the relationship between Prince's Purple Rain character, the Kid, and his female lead, Apollonia, with a stylist performance footage that was conceptually a step beyond any promo video Prince had created to date. The first Prince video to feature his soon-to-be famous backing band, The Revolution, When Doves Cry, was effectively directed by Prince himself, despite the presence of Larry Williams, a photographer hired to oversee the shoot. Quote, "Before the first shot, Prince said to me, 'He doesn't have to be here,'" producer Simon Fields recalled in the book I Want My MTV, The Uncensored Story of the Music Video Revolution. Quote, "So I gave Larry some magazines and he sat outside and did some reading. Some of Williams' stage photos from the day were later used in the deluxe edition reissue of Purple Rain." Fact number 7, playing the song live created problems for the Revolution keyboardist Matt Fink. Prince used studio trickery to create his fleet-fingered keyboard solo at the end of the When Doves Cry, slowing the tape down and recording the part an octave lower than needed before playing the tape back at the correct speed and the pitch for the final edit. Quote, "He played the solo halftime and sped the take back backup, which made the solo much easier to play, Revolution keyboardist Matt Dr. Fink told Vibe magazine on the 30th anniversary of Purple Rain's release. Tasked with recreating the solo on stage during the Purple Rain tour, Fink had no such luxuries. Quote, Prince always handed the football to me when we did the When Doves Cry live, he laughed. It was as if he was saying, here, you play it, dude. Fact number 8. When Doves Cry was given a haunting gospel arrangement in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Having already been to dramatic use in Purple Rain, When Doves Cry made for another standout moment in the cinema history when it was given a haunting gospel arrangement in Baz Luhrmann's 1996 film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. Slowed to a funeral pace, the song was sung by a gospel choir led by 14-year-old Quindon Tarver, whose spine-chilling vocals carried over into what became a mid-90s update on Prince's sparse electro-pop. Tarver had previously tasted small-screen fame in 1989 when, as a 17-year-old, he appeared as part of the chorus in the controversial video for Madonna's Like a Prayer single. Tragically, he died at the age of 38 in a car accident in Dallas, Texas. Fact number 9. The song inspired an amusing McSweeney's spoof. In 2008, humor website McSweeney's Internet Tendency published an amusing spoof of When Doves Cry. Writing as if the song had been presented by Prince as a keynote address to the American Ornithological Society, John Moe, in what was titled A Letter to Prince Regarding the Crying of Doves and the fiasco that resulted from the presentation of a speech on that topic, recounted being hypnotized by the speaker's androgynous, highly charged sexuality during a wayward talk on the sound of crying doves that was a massive turn-on, but it was not science. With references to Prince's academic father, Twobold, and a description of menageries worth of animals struggling to hold yoga poses in the auditorium, the piece was full of in-jokes for Prince's fans. Thank you for the funky time, Moe concludes, despite the speech's chaotic climax. Please let me know if you ever want to grind out some new ideas about birds or whatever. Finally, fun fact number 10. In honor of When Doves Cry, Prince kept his own pet doves. Visitors to Prince's Paisley Park complex were always amazed to discover that he kept 2 pet doves of his own, a male named Majesty and a female named Divinity. They lived in the atrium of Paisley Park ever since Prince brought them in the 90s. In the video for the song 7 from 1992's Love Symbol album, Majesty receives a kiss on the head from Prince's first wife, Mayte, while both doves are credited with ambient singing on the track Arboretum, a solo piano piece included on Prince's 2002 album One Night Alone. Following Prince's death in 2016, the doves fell quiet in mourning. Quote, after he passed, they weren't talking, Prince's sister, Tyka Nelson, told Vanity Fair. Only after Paisley Park's staff began playing Prince's music in the building did the birds start cooing again. Majesty died 9 months after Prince in January of 2017. Divinity followed a little over 4 years later on 2 February 2021 at the age of 28. Quote, that is just such a huge part of Prince's life and career that this bird would have witnessed, Minneapolis music historian Andrea Swenson told local radio station The Current following Divinity's death. He often worked alone in that giant building, and it would be just him and the doves. Alright, there you have it, another successful Brian Reads the News segment. This one again coming to us from thisisdig.com. This is dig.com. It's titled When Doves Cry Facts, 10 Things You Need to Know About Prince's Seminal Pop Masterpiece. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this article and will consider subscribing to the channel. Here's a look at my channel, just simply Brian Kingsbury on YouTube. Real easy to find, just my name, Brian Kingsbury. Go on up there and hit that subscription button. As you can see there, we're currently sitting at 1.12 thousand subscribers with 4.6 thousand videos, so there's plenty for you to go up there and watch. Go on up there, watch a few videos, subscribe to the channel, then ring that notification bell. When you ring the notification bell, you'll be notified every time a new video drops. If you could do me a big favor and give this one a big thumbs up on your way out, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for watching this one to the very end. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.